Good morning, y'all. Thank you so much for your patience. And let's begin. We'll come down to our backs whenever you're ready. Just as with every other class, take all the permission you need, either choosing to bend into your knees, grounding the feet, or extending your legs long, extending the heels towards the top of your mat. And draw the arms close to your body if you're feeling more grounded. Maybe taking the arms further away if you're feeling more spacious and open. Give yourself permission to close your eyes if it feels safe, and if it doesn't, maybe take a gentle gaze towards the tops of your cheeks. And once you've settled into some kind of stillness, take a long, slow breath in through your nose. Open your mouth and sigh it out. Two more times like that. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last big breath in. And big breath out. Continue these cleansing breaths if any part of you desires to do so. Otherwise, draw your lips to touch and continue breathing in and out through your nose. As you allow this fresh prana to fill you, allow the gentle rise of belly, ribs, and chest. In these next few moments, you're encouraged to set an intention for your practice. If that's not something that you typically do here, maybe just keep your awareness on the breath, on the sensations that accompany your breath, on the quality of your thoughts in this moment. Staying for just another 3 cycles. All the while keeping our awareness shifted internally. Final full breath here. Your next inhale, start to gently invite opposing movements into your body. If the arms are away from center, maybe hug yourself gently. If the legs are straight, maybe bend into the knees or draw them towards the heart. Taking the next 3 cycles of breath or so, inviting those countering shapes, movements, and sensations. After your 3rd breath out, we'll all meet with the feet grounded in line with our hips, knees pointing directly up. Take a moment to bring the awareness to the back body, getting rid of any gaps or spaces, and then allowing yourself to fully flatten from the tailbone to the shoulder blades. Once you've achieved this, turn the palms down, making sure you can touch at least some part of your foot with your fingertips. Take a big breath in and out as we prepare. The next time you inhale, you'll lift your head and neck just slightly. Then on your next breath in, reach your right fingertips towards the outer pinky toe. We'll inhale to return to center. Exhale, left fingers towards the outer left pinky toe. Inhale, back to center. Continue with your breath. Each time we exhale, we reach those fingers towards the toes. Each time we inhale, we return to center. We'll stay here for another 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, final 3, 2, and 1. Let's pause with just head, neck, and shoulders lifted. And then we'll pulse our hands and arms. Let's stay here for another 3. If you want a little bit more, float your feet off the mat. We're here for 2. You want even more, hug those knees towards your heart. Final breath. We'll slowly release those feet back down to the earth. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. As you exhale, cactus your arms. Option to float your hips up any amount. 2 more times like that. Inhale, reach your arms up, lower your hips. Exhale, take your arms in cactus, option to float your hips up. Last time, breathe in, reach your fingertips high. Breathe out, arms in cactus, option to lift those hips. Keep your arms in cactus, lower the hips back down. The next time you exhale, draw those knees towards your heart. Toes are either flexing towards the face or pointed away. No matter what, we make the feet active. Take a big breath in. As you breathe out, take those knees over towards the left. Inhale, return your knees to center. The next time you breathe out, hug the knees towards your heart, curl into yourself, maybe head and neck lifts. We inhale to return to where we started. The next time you breathe out, take your legs over towards the right, twist here. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, knees to heart, curl into yourself. Inhale, return. We'll continue guiding our movement with our breath. Each time those legs move left or right, we exhale. When the knees return to center, we inhale. Exhale, knees towards the heart. And inhale to return. We'll stay here for another 5 cycles of breath. The next time those knees move in towards your heart, we pause here. Slowly return those feet towards the mat. Take your arms to frame your body. Breathe in, lift your hips up high. Breathe out, take your hips low. 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last time, breathe in and out. The next time you exhale, hug your knees towards your heart. Take your hands behind your thighs, rock and roll the length of your spine. We'll all land in a seated bow variation. Allow those feet to ground, roll the shoulders back and down. Take a full breath in, lifting your spine. When you're ready, float those legs up, parallel the shins with the earth. For a little bit more heat, guide the thighs towards your belly, or maybe release the backs of the thighs. We'll stay here for another 3. Breathe here for 2. One more full cycle of breath. When you're ready, you'll cross your ankles. Inhale, reach your fingertips high. Exhale, take your arms in cactus, arch your back. Inhale, re-extend fingers high. Exhale, lower palm to the earth in front of you. Roll over your ankles. Let's find our first tabletop. When you arrive, move organically. Whatever that means this morning, you have the next 4 cycles of breath to honor your body's needs. Finishing up your final 2 cycles of breath here. We'll eventually meet in our neutral spine and table, walking the hands beneath our shoulders and the knees beneath our hips. Let's tuck all the toes under, lifting the knees just a few inches off the mat, and make an effort to flatten your back body as much as you can. You may notice a natural tendency to dip the spine or to arch the back. Really reach the crown forward, the tailbone back behind you, engage through the core, and make it as neutral as possible. Taking one more full breath in and out here. I don't lose my earbud again. And after that full breath in and out, the next time we exhale, we'll guide those knees over towards the left side in space. Try to keep your hands as anchors. Inhale to return to center. The next time you exhale, move those knees over towards the right side in space. Inhale back to center. We'll do that one more time each side. Exhale, knees move left. Inhale, center. Exhale, knees move right. Inhale, center. The next time you exhale, lift your hips up and back. Let's find our first down dog. You're encouraged to keep generous bend with both of your knees, inviting the belly to meet your thighs, tucking your chin, gazing between the feet. Big breath in, lengthen your spine, point that tailbone high. Big breath out, ground down through the feet, invite a lengthening through the back body. One more time like that. Breathe in, hips high, heels low. The next time you inhale, extend your spine forward for plank. Exhale, lower all the way down to your belly. Taking your fingertips to the corners of your mat, elbows plate up, forehead rest down. Taking 3 big breaths here, just noticing any release, any stretching, any sensations that do not feel neutral. After that third breath out, you'll slowly inhale, lifting your gaze. As you exhale, take that right shoulder towards the center of your mat as you gaze over your left. Inhale, return to center. Exhale, dip that left shoulder down, gaze over your right. Inhale, back to center. 2 more times at each side with your breath. Allow the rhythm that you choose to match the pace of your breath. After you've completed this twice on both sides, allow that forehead to return to the mat, elbows still pointing up. Taking 2 more breaths here, just noticing any changes, any constants. When you're ready, take those palms beneath your shoulders. Hug the elbows towards your ribs. Tuck your toes under. You get to choose to press yourself up to table or plank. Once again, we meet in down dog on the breath out. The next time you inhale, lift your gaze between your hands and travel to the top of your mat. Breathe in, lift yourself halfway. Breathe out and fold. Next time you inhale, we'll find our first awkward pose. Fingertips may graze the mat as you reach your arms out in front of you, lowering the hips towards the earth, bending into the knees. On your next breath out, take your arms in airplane, palms forward. Breathe in, rise all the way to stand, palms touch overhead. Exhale your hands to heart center, gaze towards your thumbs. Keeping palms touching, inhale your arms overhead. As you exhale, separate your hands, fold yourselves forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, palms to the mat. Take a generous step back with your left foot. Bend that right knee until it hovers over your ankle, then invite the left knee towards the earth. Breathe in, right fingertips high, we open and find a twist. Breathe out, return that hand to the earth. Inhale, rise to our first low lunge. For those of us wanting more of a stretch in the hip, press them forward. For those of us wanting more strengthening, more strong muscles surrounding those hips, squeeze and take it back just a bit. No matter how you're showing up for yourself, we breathe here for another 2. One more cycle of breath. All right, let's start to take those right fingertips back behind us as we find another twist, stopping whenever you feel comfortable. For some of us, it may just be a gentle opening of that right shoulder. For others, we may have the space to open completely, reaching those right fingertips back behind us. Making sure that we don't force anything. We listen to our body's needs, what it's receptive to this morning, and we work with that. One more breath. On the inhale, we swing that right arm back forward, finding that low lunge. Then we'll exhale to open the arms wide as if we were coming into a supported warrior 2. Take that left leg back behind you, using it as a kickstand. And turn that right palm up, reverse your supported warrior. Left fingertips either rest at the calf, the mat, or we grab our blocks if they're accessible. From here, we imagine that we move into extended side angle, hinge forward at the hip, either bringing that arm to the top of your thigh, the outside of your foot, or a block. Reach your left fingertips high if that feels accessible to you, maybe even extending the arm overhead. One more breath here. On an exhale, we'll extend through that right leg, straightening as much as we can. We may need to walk those toes forward to achieve this, recreating a triangle type pose here, supported. As you inhale, we'll rise, reversing that triangle. Again, same option to place that hand on the block, let it hover or reach those fingertips towards the earth. And from here, we'll return to that supported warrior 2 shape, rebending into your right knee, stacking shoulders over hips. Taking a few breaths here, gaze over your right fingertips. How similarly or differently does this feel compared to our more traditional warrior 2? One more breath. Let's swing that left arm forward, returning to our original low lunge. Left hip squares forward as well. We'll exhale to lower both hands to frame the foot. Let's tuck the left toes under, lift that knee away from the mat. Take a big breath in, gaze forward. As you breathe out, press off those left toes, lift that leg as much as you're comfortable with. For some of us, it may look like a supported warrior three. Others, it may look like a standing split. Stay for just 2 more cycles of breath. Activate that foot. Toes are either pointed or flexed. After your second breath out, slowly release that left foot to meet the right. We'll inhale to lift halfway. Exhale, refold. Inhale back into that awkward pose. Bend into your knees. Reach your fingertips forward. Exhale, arms in airplane. Inhale, rise to stand, palms touch overhead. Exhale, hands at heart center, gaze towards your thumbs. With those palms still touching, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, separate your palms, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, palms to the mat. This time we take that generous step back with the right foot. Guiding that left knee to hover over the ankle, we lower that right knee when we're ready. On our next breath in, we lift the left fingertips high, finding that twist. Breathing here for just another 2. One more breath. Releasing those left fingers down as we exhale. We inhale to our first low lunge on the second side. Same option here. If we want more of a release, if the hips feel tight already, gently press them forward. And if they're loosey-goosey, they're not tight at all, we need some strengthening. Squeeze into center. Guide shoulders over hips. 2 more breaths, however you've chosen to show up for you. This time you bring the awareness to the left hand, start to swing that arm back behind you. Same thing. Some of us may just find a gentle twist, and that's enough. Others may take those arms wide, inviting that left shoulder even more open to find a deeper twist. Again, we don't force anything. We listen to our body's needs, how receptive it is to the actions that we're requesting, and we work with what's there. 1 more breath here. On an inhale, we'll swing that left arm forward, returning to the lunge. Then we'll open into our supported warrior 2. Swing that right leg back behind you. Take your arms wide. From here, we'll turn the left palm up and reverse our warrior. Lift that arm overhead. Right fingertips rest on the right calf, a block, or the earth. And from here, we find that extended side angle. Hinge forward at the left hip crease. Invite the arm to the top of your thigh, outside of the foot or a block. That right hand can rest at the hip. Reach all the way overhead, or reach up or all the way overhead. 1 more breath here. Start to extend through that left leg as we recreate our triangle pose. Invite the heel to the top of your mat. Maybe reach those fingertips in the same direction. 2 more breaths here. If you feel those shoulders are kind of closed off and you're rounding forward, roll that right shoulder back and open. Reversing our triangle, press down through the left foot or heel. Rise all the way up. Reach that left arm overhead. Again, you decide how much or little you want to lean back here, how much or little support you desire. And then from here, we'll make our way back to that warrior 2. We bend into your left knee, stack shoulders over hips. Press down through that left foot and imagine you could drag that heel towards the center of your mat. The next time you breathe in, right arm swings forward, and we take that right leg back behind us, returning to the low lunge. Exhale your fingertips to frame your left foot. Tucking right toes under. If you haven't, we lift the right knee away from the earth. Big breath in, gaze forward. As you breathe out, press off the right toes. Lift that right leg any amount. And again, no matter how much or little that leg is lifted, the toes are active, either flexed or pointed. Staying here for just another 2. 1 more breath. Releasing that right foot to meet the left. We'll inhale to lift ourselves halfway. This time we'll exhale to plant our palms and step back into downward facing dog. Whether your knees are bent or moving towards straight or fully straight, Bow your head, tuck the chin towards your chest. Each time you inhale, imagine your spine lengthening even longer. Each time you exhale, imagine those heels grounding even more into or towards the mat. 2 more breaths here. After your second breath out, slowly lower down to your knees. As you inhale, lower your belly, look up, cow pose. As you exhale, round your back, look away, cat pose. 3 more times on your own. After your third breath out, we'll meet back in that neutral table. Extend your right leg long behind you, flex the toes. We'll exhale to pull that right knee towards the left elbow. 2 more times. Inhale, kick back. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Last time, inhale, kick back. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Kick that right leg back behind you. Tuck your left toes under. Big breath in, prepare. As you breathe out and lift that left leg away from the mat, we'll find our 3-legged dog. Take another full breath in, kick up through that right heel. As you breathe out, step the foot between your hands. Once that foot lands, bend into the knee. Hover it over your ankle. Press the left fingertips or palm into the earth. Inhale, right fingertips high. As you exhale, return that right hand to the mat. Inhale, rise to our first high lunge. The same options here to strengthen or lengthen through that left hip flexor for the next 2 cycles of breath. Whether you chose to lengthen or strengthen, we all strengthen. Squeeze into center. Shorten the distance between your feet as needed. Bring your awareness to the right hand. We reach those fingers back any amount as we find our twist. On an inhale, you'll swing that right arm forward, return to high lunge. Exhale, open to warrior 2. As you inhale, turn that right palm up, reverse your warrior. Exhale, hinge forward at the right hip, extended side angle, any variation of your choice. The next time you inhale, straighten through that right leg, triangle pose. Squeeze the hips towards center, roll that left shoulder back and open. Maybe reaching the left fingertips forward. From here, we rise all the way up and reverse our triangle. Active press down through the feet and squeeze of the legs as we achieve this. Good. Then from here, we return into that warrior 2 shape. Both arms wide. Guide that right knee to hover over the right ankle. Gaze over the right fingertips. Breathe in and out. And the next breath in, swing the left arm forward. We return to our high lunge. The distance between your feet may have increased, so shorten as you need. The next time you breathe out, we lower fingertips to the earth, blocks, or any other support between. Press off those left toes, lift that left leg as high as you desire. No matter how high that leg is lifted, walk your fingertips or hands beneath your shoulders, lengthen your spine. Try to create the letter T. If your torso is long like mine, your letter T may look a little bit different. May look more like an arrow. One more breath here to refine, to adjust, maybe grabbing blocks as needed. And then from here, we'll start to get really light in the right hand and invite that hand or those fingers to the right hip crease. This feels like more than enough of a challenge. Continue kicking through that left heel and reaching the crown of your head forward. If you feel you have space to explore, start to roll that right shoulder open as you lift your gaze. Notice how the sensation on the outside of that right thigh increases. Try to keep that left leg anchored. If this is still okay and you feel like you can explore a little more, maybe reach those right fingertips high and play with getting even lighter in those left fingertips. No matter where you are, know that you are working towards or already in a revolved half moon. One more breath. If those right fingertips are lifted, slowly return to the earth or a block. We'll all release that left leg down. Left foot meets the right. Inhale, lift yourself halfway. Exhale, fold. On your next breath in, rise all the way up to stand, palms touch overhead. Exhale your hands to heart center. Taking 3 breaths in between. Returning to any intention you may or may not have set. Or maybe just taking this time to acknowledge how differently one side feels compared to the other. When you feel ready, if your eyes are closed, blink them open. On your next breath in, reach your arms overhead. On your next breath out, fold yourselves forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, palms to the earth. Make your way back into that downward facing dog shape. Once again, noticing what remains the same no matter how much work we do, and what changes every time we try something else. On an exhale, you'll lower knees to the earth, find table. Inhale, lower your belly, look up, cow pose. Exhale, round your back, look away, cat pose. 2 more times on your own. After your second full round here, return to that neutral spine and table. Let's extend the left leg long behind us. Toes are active, flexed or pointed. Exhale, left knee to right elbow. Inhale, kick back. 2 more times. Exhale. Inhale. Last time, breathe out. Breathe in. Tuck those right toes under. Take a big breath in to prepare. And as you breathe out, lift that right leg up and back, 3-legged dog. Inhale, kick through that left heel. Exhale, step your foot between your hands. Once that knee is hovering over your ankle, we'll inhale, left fingertips high, open and find your twist. Breathing here for just 2 more cycles, noticing which side is more receptive, which side is more resistant. The exhale lowers those left fingertips down to frame your foot. We inhale, rising to our first high lunge on this side. Taking the same consideration. Do I need to strengthen? Do I need to lengthen? Do I need to find somewhere in the middle? We're here for just another 2. 1 more breath. Bring your awareness to the left hand. Start to open any amount. Again, you get to choose. And really imagine pulling the shoulder back instead of reaching the arms out. 2 more cycles of breath here. On an inhale, you'll swing that left arm forward, return the high lunge just for a moment. We'll exhale to open both arms wide. First warrior 2, second side. Give yourself time to fully arrive here. Settle into the shape. Stack your joints as much as you can. Take big breaths in and out. When you're ready, left palm turns up. We reverse our warrior. And from here, we'll hinge forward into extended side angle. Again, arm to thigh, outside of the foot or a block. And that hand can always rest at the hip crease if fingers high is too intense. On an inhale, you'll start to straighten through your left leg, find a triangle type shape. Again, create more space along the front body by keeping that right shoulder back and open. We may reach the fingertips up and overhead. No matter where the arms are, really press down through the feet and squeeze everything in towards center before rising. This gives us a more stronger base, a more solid foundation. Reverse your triangle, lift that left arm all the way up and overhead. From here, we'll return to warrior 2, rebending into the left knee, arms wide, gaze is over the left hand. 2 more breaths here. After your second breath out, the inhale returns your right arm forward, hips squares. Once again, giving yourself permission to shorten the distance as things start to shift as we transition. We'll exhale both palms to frame the foot, either on blocks, to the earth, or somewhere in between. Big breath in, lift your gaze. As you breathe out, press off the right toes, lift the right leg any amount. No matter where that leg is, we walk the hands beneath our shoulders. We try to lengthen our spine as much as we can. We try to make our foundation, which is the left leg right now, as stable as we can get it. We either choose to stay here and breathe through whatever we're experiencing. If we have a desire to explore, this time we'll get light in our left hand. Maybe we start by inviting that hand to the hip crease. If that's okay, maybe we start to open that left shoulder and lift our gaze up. And if that feels okay too, we may explore reaching the left fingertips up and overhead. And if all that feels okay, maybe we get light in those right fingers and play with a different hand and arm position. Maybe play with pointing the toes instead of flexing. No matter where you are, we'll play for just another two. One more breath. If the left arm is lifted, slowly lower it back down to the earth. On an exhale, right foot meets the left. Big breath in, lift up halfway. Big breath out, plant your palms, step back into downward facing dog. Inhale, hips up. Exhale, heels low. One more breath in. As you breathe out, lower knees to the earth, find child's pose or any other restful shape that speaks to you in this moment. Give yourself permission to support as much or as little of yourself as you feel is necessary in this moment. Really customizing this practice to your needs. Staying for just another three. After your third breath out, you'll lift your gaze and slowly rise to a seat. And from this seat, we will extend both legs out in front of us. The next time you inhale, reach your arms overhead. And as you exhale, you'll take your arms to parallel the earth and start to lean back. We'll do this a few more times. Inhale, reach your arms up, stack shoulders over hips. Exhale, arms parallel, lean back as much as you can tolerate. Three more times. Inhale. Exhale. Breathe in. Breathe out. Last time, inhale. Exhale, hover here, wherever you can tolerate for the next three. Hang out for two. For a bonus, float those feet and legs up. Final breath. Slowly lower all the way down to your back. Take big breaths in and out through your nose. And give yourself permission to sigh it out of your mouth at any time as needed. Two more moments here. When you feel ready, then into your knees. Allow them to land hip width distance or a little wider. On your next breath out, take those knees over towards the left. Option to gaze right. We'll linger here for a few breaths. If you notice a decent sensation along the front of your right thigh, you're invited to encourage that knee a little closer to the earth. You notice that the bulk of your sensations are in a joint, whether it's your knee or your hip. We don't necessarily want that. Maybe walk the right toes towards the top of your mat, unbending your knee enough for those sensations to kind of settle. And be here for another 3 cycles of breath. And after your third breath out, inhale your knees back to center. Exhale, take those knees towards the right side. Option to gaze left. And same option or same cueing here. Observing where the bulk of the sensation is. Is it in a muscle group or is it in a joint? And we want to lengthen, to strengthen, to affect our muscles and our tendons. We want our joints to be stronger and more resilient. But typically, when we do things that cause them pain and discomfort, that's not the result. So make the adjustments as needed. Move, explore until the bulk of the discomfort in the joints dissipates and the focus is back on those muscles and tendons. On your next breath in, we'll return to everything to center. On your breath out, hug the knees towards your heart. Draw them as close to your heart as you can get them, or start to make your way towards happy baby. Our intention here is to ground the entire back body. And if you find yourself in happy baby and you notice your tailbone and your hips floating up like this, really make an effort to ground. Pressing down through the back body, through the tailbone, and notice how that increases in sensations on your inner thighs. And whether you're in a happy baby or some other variation, we'll breathe here for another 3 cycles of breath. After your third breath out, invite those feet back down to the earth. Walking the feet to touch, we'll find ourselves in Baddha Konasana or butterfly. You know that this is a bit too intense, uncomfortable, or does not feel safe for you this morning. I encourage you to slide blankets, pillows, blocks, or any other supports beneath your thighs and knees. And if this feels like something that is necessary this morning, something that you are inviting into your practice, into your being, maybe you can invite even more expansion by taking the arms wide, whether in the cactus or T shape. You may also play with the idea of making an effort to get rid of the gap between your lower back and the earth. And just noticing how this effort, this awareness, and trying to achieve this affects the sensations in the inner thighs and hips. At any time, you may leave this shape and make your way towards Shavasana or any other posture that calls or speaks to you. For those of you that are interested, we will be here for the next 8 cycles of breath. Instead of focusing on how long you're here, really allow yourself to be fully present with each breath in and out. Noticing the effect of every inhale and exhale on this posture while you're here. Whether I feel ready or not, each breath out invites me closer to the earth, giving me permission to courageously move towards that more expansive state. While each breath in reassures me that I'm safe, and I chose this, that at any time I can choose to be done with this work. We'll stay for just another 3 cycles of breath. Give yourself permission to stay a little longer if your current work is really resonating with you. Understanding that we store a lot of stuff in this space that we're currently giving our awareness and attention to. If you feel yourself getting emotional, whether that's in the form of sensitivity, frustration, anger, discontent, whatever you may be experiencing that does not feel neutral, know that that's normal. Think of it as spring cleaning. More often than not, when we begin our cleaning process, things get a little messier first. Imagine this as the messy process, this bulk, this concentration of discomfort that comes right before the ease, right before the pleasure, right before the enjoyment of stretching, of working this part of your being. Whenever you feel ready to leave this shape, whether that's in the next few breaths or the next 10 minutes, you may slide your hands beneath your thighs, gently invite them towards one another and center as you heel toe your feet towards the outer edges of your mat. Drawing the knees to touch in center. You're invited to tuck the tailbone under and place your hands on your torso. One may land on the belly, this power center responsible for your action, for your drive. And maybe the other lands on your heart, that power center responsible for your compassion, your love, your understanding. Taking a few moments here, acknowledging the quality of your breath, of your thoughts. When you've had enough, I invite you to find Shavasana, even if there's lingering requests, desires, wants to express in other ways. Extending the legs long, allowing the arms to frame the body, and just noticing its response to this neutral shape. And if you notice after the next 3 to 5 cycles of breath that there's still a desire to express in a different way, please do so. If you notice at the end of your 3 or 5 cycles of breath that you feel a bit more content, maybe stay here. Allow yourself to rest. And begin your practice, your process of assimilation, of digestion, of reflection. Whether you're choosing to begin your practice of Shavasana or express in any other way, and tailor the remaining part of your class to you. What makes the most sense today, this morning, in this moment, for your body and its needs? Does it need to stay here and rest a little longer? Or could it tolerate a bit more work, a bit more effort? Allow that choice to be yours and yours only to make. I thank you for allowing me to facilitate your practice today. The light that resides and shines within me honors and loves the light that resides and shines within you. Namaste.